Imagine being a child, no older than 5 or 6, and waking up to a world where your every move, your every breath, is controlled by someone else. A world where you are treated as property, forced to work, beaten, and denied your humanity. This was the brutal reality for Black children born into slavery. For these children, the innocence of childhood was stolen at birth. Slavery didn't just harm adults, it scarred the very souls of the youngest. They were forced to grow up faster than anyone should ever have to. Their lives were dictated by the whims of their masters, and every day was a fight for survival. In the United States, an entire generation of children lived without hope of freedom or safety. They were born into a system designed to break their spirit. In the fields, in the kitchens, and in the homes of slave owners, their lives were marked by hardship and abuse. One of the most heart-wrenching truths is that children, yes, children, were often subjected to the same brutal punishment as adults, whipped, beaten, and punished for the smallest of mistakes. When a child made a mistake, there were no second chances, no forgiveness, only violence. Some were made to work alongside adults in grueling conditions, picking cotton, tobacco, or rice from sunrise until sunset. Their tiny hands could barely keep up with the pace set by the overseers, but if they fell behind, it was punishment, not compassion, that awaited them. But the violence wasn't just physical. For these children, there was no safety, no love, no warmth. They were separated from their parents, torn apart by the slave trade. Some were sold away, never to see their families again. Imagine the pain of a mother knowing her child could be ripped from her arms at any moment. Families were auctioned off like cattle. Parents, children, siblings, ripped from each other's lives. It was a cruelty that not only destroyed their relationships, but also shattered their sense of identity. These children never had the chance to grow up with their families, to feel their parents' love or guidance. The psychological toll was just as severe. Slaves were taught to obey without question. Children were trained to believe they were less than human, that they had no value beyond the work they could do. Some children were even forced to watch the brutal punishment of their parents and siblings, teaching them from a young age that their worth was tied to their ability to serve. But despite this unimaginable suffering, these children found ways to survive. They resisted in quiet ways, by maintaining their culture, by holding on to their family connections, by passing down stories of strength and survival. We cannot forget this painful chapter in our history. The pain endured by Black children during slavery is a reminder that the fight for freedom is a fight for humanity itself, a fight that continues to this very day. We must never forget the children who lived and died in the shadow of slavery, and we must carry their story forward so that future generations understand the depth of the struggle and the resilience of those who endured it. Remember the past, fight for the future,